Chosen one, this is not a drill, and this is not an invitation. Tonight, a red alert has been issued from heaven over your life, and the issuing of it has not happened in centuries. You did not stumble into this hour. You were redirected here by the same hand that wrote your name into the sealed records of the Father before time itself was numbered. And the reason this alert is being released, the reason the silence of generations is being broken tonight specifically, is not the strength you have shown. It is the yes you have whispered when no one was listening to confirm it. That yes was recorded. That yes crossed a threshold. Heaven has been waiting centuries for someone to cross. And what is being released now is not a warning of something wrong. It is the announcement that something rare has finally aligned, and the alignment carries your name. So, do not move. Do not rush past this. There is no panic in heaven, only gravity. The hour you have been waiting for, without knowing how to name it, has begun. The next breath is sacred. Receive what comes next. What is about to be named has already been moving in your life for weeks, maybe months. In moments you almost dismissed as random. In coincidences your mind tried to file away under nothing. The signs have been arriving, quietly, steadily, without announcement. And tonight is the night they finally have language. Tonight is the night the pattern becomes visible. The first one is the verse, or the number, or the single phrase that has been showing up in places that have nothing to do with each other. You opened a book, and there it was. You overheard a stranger in line at the store, and there it was again. A song lyric you stumbled past, a friend's offhand comment at dinner, the same word, the same scripture, the same number. Arriving at a clock face you happened to glance at, you noticed. You said nothing, but you noticed, and every time it appeared, something inside you said, "This is not random," even as your mind argued back that you were just paying attention now. Listen to me carefully. You are not paying more attention. The same hand that has been arranging your steps has been arranging the language. It is the way heaven gets through to a soul who has trained itself to be reasonable about everything. When the Father wants to be heard by a chosen one who has learned to filter out wonder, he uses repetition. He plants the same word in 3 unrelated mouths. He places the same number at 3 unrelated hours, and eventually the soul stops dismissing it. That moment of stopping is the first sign. You have already had that moment. The alert has already been speaking. The second sign is, what is happening to your tolerance for noise, not external noise? The other kind, conversations that used to feel normal, now leave you drained in a way you cannot quite explain. Drama you used to participate in feels heavier than it ever did before. The same circles, the same low-frequency exchanges, the same recycled complaints from people who never want to actually change anything. They have started to feel unbearable. And you have been wondering, what is wrong with you? Maybe you have been telling yourself you have become judgmental. Maybe you have been wondering if you are turning into someone harder, someone less patient, someone who has lost their compassion. Hear this clearly. Nothing is wrong with you. What you are experiencing is not loss of compassion. It is the rising of your frequency to a level where the old environments cannot vibrate at the same speed. Your spirit is being sharpened. Your discernment is being calibrated. The reason certain rooms now feel suffocating is that you were not made to spend the next chapter of your life in those rooms. The alert is preparing you to leave gracefully, without slamming doors, without explanations, without owing anyone a defense for the new altitude you are stepping into. And the discomfort you have been feeling is not punishment. It is preparation. The third sign is harder to name, but it has been with you for a while now. There is something inside you that wants out. A book you cannot stop almost starting. A conversation you keep rehearsing in your head with someone you have not yet had the courage to address. A version of yourself that keeps showing up in your imagination and refusing to leave. You may have called it discontent. You may have called it midlife confusion. You may have wondered if something is broken, but what is actually happening is the opposite. Something is being born. The restlessness is not dysfunction. The restlessness is the womb. There is a creation, a calling, a movement of yours that has been gestating for years in the silence of your interior, and the alert that heaven has issued tonight is the announcement that the gestation period is ending. The thing inside you is ready. It has been knocking at the door of your daily attention with increasing urgency, and you have been telling it to wait, to be patient, to give you a few more weeks. Tonight, the few more weeks ends. Whatever has been kicking in your spirit is the first language of an assignment that is about to be born through you, and you cannot push it back down. You can only choose how willing you are to receive it. Before I name the fourth sign, there is something you need to know about the rest of this hour. If you stay with me, what is about to unfold will give you 4 things you cannot get from a single sermon, a single book, or a single quiet morning alone. You will receive the centuries-deep reason this alert is being released specifically through your life, traced back to 2 figures, the scriptures locked away for someone exactly like you. You will be given a clear 3-witness test to confirm whether what you are experiencing is genuinely the alert or only your imagination borrowing the language of one. You will receive a single revelation about who you actually are that reorders every season you have lived through up to now. And at the close of this hour, you will receive a declaration spoken over your life that I believe will stay with you long after you leave this space. So do not turn away. The fourth sign is the doorway into all of it. The fourth sign is the one that has been the most uncanny and the one your mind has worked the hardest to explain away. The right person showing up the moment you needed them, with no logical chain of events that should have brought them into your path. The right sentence said by the right voice, in the exact week you needed to hear it. A door opening at a moment you did not even know you were standing in front of it. A phone call returning at the precise hour your spirit had quieted enough to receive it. These have been multiplying lately. You may have stopped counting. You may have started joking about how strange your timing has been, but it is not strange. It is choreography. It is the same Father who arranges constellations, arranging the smallest details of your daily hours. And he is doing it because the season you are stepping into requires alignment that is too precise to leave to chance. Every coincidence you have been quietly noticing is the alert speaking through circumstances. Every door that opened without your effort is the heavens confirming they are walking ahead of you. Every right person at the right moment is a witness signed onto the record that says, this is the hour. These 4 signs, all of them, are only the surface. They are the ripples on the water. They are not the depth. What is moving underneath them is the actual answer to the question your spirit has been asking, and the question is bigger than you realize. The question is not, what is happening to me? The question is, why now? Why for me? Why in this century, when generation after generation has lived without an alert of this weight crossing their threshold? And the answer to that question is the next thing I want to show you, because the answer goes back centuries, and it goes back to 2 specific names sealed in the scriptures, whose stories were written for someone exactly like you. There was a girl in the Persian Empire. Her name was Esther, and before she was the queen who would save her people, before she was the woman whose courage would become a story told for thousands of years, she was a hidden orphan being prepared in a palace she did not ask to enter. The part of her story almost no one talks about is the hidden part. The years before, her name was famous. The months in the harem when she was being polished, perfumed, taught, refined, watched, prepared, with no audience, no recognition, no clear sense of why she was being shaped at all. She did not know the king yet. She did not know the threat that was coming for her people. She did not know that her hidden years were rehearsals. For the moment, a single word from her mouth would change the outcome of a nation. She just knew she was being readied. And on the surface, the readying looked like waiting. It looked like being passed over while others were chosen first. It looked like a long, quiet season in a foreign palace where her real name had been hidden under a different one. Hear this carefully. The reason the alert tonight has your name on it is that you have been living an Esther season without knowing what it was for. The years that felt like delay were not delay. The seasons when you watched others get the recognition you privately knew belonged to you were not punishment. They were the harem years. They were the polishing. They were the preparing. There is a Hebrew word in the scriptures for what is happening tonight. The word is kairos. It does not mean ordinary time. It means the appointed hour, the sacred moment, the exact second when everything that has been preparing finally becomes visible. The scriptures distinguish between two kinds of time: the clock kind, the kind that just passes, and the kairos kind, the kind that opens. And the alert that has been issued tonight is the announcement that your kairos has arrived, not the time, the time. A woman wrote me once. She was 46. She told me that for 19 years she had watched women younger than her, women with less wisdom, women who had not walked through half of what she had walked through, get the platforms and the partners and the recognition she had been quietly waiting for. She said she had finally given up on being seen. She said she had made peace with the idea that her life would be small. And then, one evening, in the middle of an ordinary week, she received a single confirmation she could not explain. A signal that everything she had assumed was permanent was actually temporary. She told me, with tears in her voice, that she realized in that moment she had not been forgotten. She had been preserved. The kairos is the difference between forgotten and preserved. And tonight, what is being released over your life is the same confirmation she received. Whatever you assumed was permanent about your hiddenness is actually temporary. The polishing is ending. The recognition is being prepared. Truth honors truth. So, before this conversation goes any deeper, before what is about to be revealed lands fully, what is real should be named without the building of mystery for the sake of selling. Because what you have been feeling, what these signs have been confirming, what your hidden years have been preparing, has a frequency, a measurable one. The brain that has been receiving the alert has been operating at a frequency the world dimmed in you years ago, and another frequency that has been hijacked by adult survival pressure. 2 stages, 2 restorations, 1 sequence. There is an audio called The Genius Song, 7 minutes, developed by a researcher named Dr. Robert Lake to reactivate the first frequency, the one that was alive in you as a child before the world quieted it. There is a second audio called The Wealth Signal, 5 minutes, developed by Dr. Stephen Newton to deactivate the survival frequency that has been hijacking your reception of what was always meant to be yours. The first restores, the second receives. The order matters because the child within wakes up first, and only then can what was promised to her actually arrive. If your spirit is already pulling toward this, the path is in the description and pinned comment below this conversation. The doors are there for those who already know. Do not rush. The full picture is still unfolding, but the names alone are not the gift. The gift is in why these tools exist for you specifically, and that answer is in the next layer of what is about to open. There is a second figure I have to name, because what was true for Esther is only half of the picture. The other half is in the prophet Daniel. Daniel was given visions that he himself did not fully understand, visions of times and events that would not unfold for hundreds, sometimes thousands of years after his lifetime. At the end of one of those visions, an angel said something to him that almost no one quotes. The angel told Daniel to seal up the words, to close them, to keep them hidden until the time of the end, until the appointed hour, until Kairos. Daniel was being told that some words, some assignments, some scrolls are not for the era they are written in. They are written for a future soul who has not yet been born, and the seal stays in place until that soul arrives at the threshold the words were preserved for. What I want you to hear is this. There has been a sealed scroll over your life since before you were born. Your name is written on it. The contents have been kept under that seal not because the Father forgot about you, but because the timing was not yet ready. The reason centuries have passed without an alert of this weight being released is that the soul who could carry the contents had not yet arrived at the threshold. Tonight, the seal breaks. Tonight, the words written for the time of your end, the end of your hidden season, the end of your preparation, the end of your waiting, are being read aloud over your life. And the only reason the angel is unsealing it is that you are the one who was always going to receive it. Stay with me for a moment. Let what just landed have its space. There is nothing to do with this revelation yet. Nothing to fix, nothing to react to, nothing to prove. Just witness it. Notice that something inside you has gone quiet, and the quiet is not absence. The quiet is recognition. Whole generations have lived and died without one moment like this being placed in their path. You are inside one. The question that has been hovering at the edge of every sign, every preparation, every sealed word being unsealed tonight, is the question your soul has been asking since the first repeating number caught your eye, since the first conversation became unbearable, since the first restlessness began to kick. The question is not what is happening. The question is, who am I, that this is happening through me? That question has an answer. And the answer is the next layer the alert is opening. Who am I, that this is happening through me? The question is older than tonight. You have asked it before. Maybe in the middle of an ordinary afternoon, when something inside you went still, and the question rose without warning. Maybe in the dark of a room where no one would hear you ask it out loud. Maybe in the pages of a journal you have not opened since. The question has been with you. And the reason it has been with you is that some part of you has always known the answer, even when your mind refused to let it land. The answer has been waiting for an hour exactly like this one to finally be spoken back to you. So, let me speak it. You are the one the centuries were waiting for. Hear that, without flinching. The instinct rising in you right now to deflect, to say, surely there are millions of others more qualified. Surely this language is too big for someone like me. That instinct is the exact thing the alert is calling you to release. The centuries did not wait for the loud ones. The centuries did not wait for the obvious ones. The centuries waited for a soul whose yes had been recorded across enough hidden seasons that when the Kairos arrived, the soul would still be standing. That soul is you. The reason your name was placed on the sealed scroll generations before you were born is not that you are extraordinary in the way the world measures extraordinary. It is that the Father saw, with perfect foreknowledge, the exact configuration of your faithfulness across the exact circumstances of your life, and he knew you would be the one who could carry what no one else could be trusted to carry. You are not waking up to becoming someone new tonight. You are waking up to who you have always been. You are the threshold crosser. The reason the seal is breaking on the scroll over your life is that you have already done the work that earns the breaking. Not work as in striving, work as in choice. There were 3 or 4 moments in the last few years when you stood at a crossroads no one else could see, and you chose the harder path because something inside you would not let you choose the easier one. You forgave when forgiveness made no sense to anyone watching. You said yes to a calling that cost you comfort. You released a person, a position, a pattern that the rest of your life had been wrapped around. Each of those moments was a threshold. Each crossing was recorded, and the cumulative weight of those crossings is what triggered the alert tonight. You did not know you were crossing thresholds at the time. You thought you were just trying to do the right thing, but the heavens were keeping count. And the count has finally reached the number that releases what has been held in reserve for you. You are the recorded yes. Every prayer you whispered when no one was around to confirm it was prayed. Every time you chose faith one more time when faith had stopped feeling reasonable. Every moment you got back up after the kind of disappointment that breaks people. All of it was recorded. None of it was lost. The scriptures have a phrase for the way the Father keeps record of unwitnessed faithfulness. They call it His remembrance. He does not forget. He does not overlook. He does not let a single yes fall through the floor of heaven. And what is being released tonight is the cumulative response to your accumulated yes. It is the answer to the prayer you almost stopped praying. It is the confirmation you stopped expecting. It is the recognition you had quietly grieved the loss of. All of it rising at once because the recording finally reached the threshold that triggered the answer. Now, I have to give you something practical, because identity without discernment becomes confusion. There is a way to confirm whether what you are experiencing is genuinely the alert, or whether your imagination is borrowing the language of an alert because you want one to be true. The scriptures established a principle thousands of years ago that every word should be confirmed by the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. The principle still holds. Your discernment needs witnesses. So, let me give you 3. I call them the 3-witness test. Memorize them. Use them tonight. Use them every time the question of whether something is real begins to rise in you again. The first witness is the persistent sign. A single occurrence of a number, a verse, a phrase, an image is not the alert. The first witness requires that the same sign appear across 3 or more contexts that have nothing to do with each other. Not 3 appearances inside the same conversation. Not 3 glances at the same clock. 3 different contexts. A book, a stranger, a song, a scripture, a friend's text. The signs are not random. They are scattered intentionally across unrelated channels, because the heavens know your mind will dismiss what arrives only through one channel. 3 unrelated channels is the first signature of a real alert. The second witness is the internal knowing that predates the sign. Before the signs began to multiply, something inside you was already moving. There was a stirring, a whisper, a weight on your interior that had no external cause yet. The signs that appeared afterward did not create the knowing. They confirmed a knowing that was already there. If you can trace back the stirring and find it preceded the signs, that is your second witness. Real alerts always confirm internal direction. They do not generate it from nothing. They name what your spirit had already begun to recognize before your mind could articulate it. The third witness is the one almost no one teaches, and it is the most important. The third witness is the absence of striving. Listen to me carefully. When the alert is real, you do not have to chase the confirmation. The confirmation arrives. Doors open without you forcing them. People show up without you orchestrating them. The right word lands without you searching for it. If you find yourself trying harder, gripping tighter, manufacturing signs to prove a sign is real, that is your indication that what you are experiencing is desire, not alert. Real alerts come with rest. Real alerts come with arrival. The third witness is your ability to step back, do nothing, and watch the confirmations continue to come anyway. If they keep arriving when you stop pursuing them, that is the third witness signed onto the record. 3 witnesses: persistent sign, pre-existing knowing, absence of striving. Apply them tonight, apply them this week, and when all 3 line up, you will not have to wonder anymore whether what you are experiencing is the alert. You will know. But before I can show you what to actually do with the alert, the way to carry the weight of what is being released over you, there is one more layer I have to reveal. Because the signs and the centuries and the identity all make sense, but the brain that has been receiving them, the actual instrument that has been picking up these signals across years of hidden formation, has been operating at a frequency that was never meant to be your default. And that is what changes everything next. Here is why this hour found you. You have been carrying a frequency the world stopped supporting around the age of 7. Children are born with a brainwave pattern called gamma. It is the frequency of curiosity, of openness, of unfiltered receiving, of the kind of trust that lets a child believe a story and watch it become true. But by the time most of us reach the age of 7, the gamma frequency begins to fall silent. Schools train us out of it. Survival pressure teaches us to filter it. Disappointment teaches us to dim it. By adulthood, the frequency that was once our birthright is operating at a fraction of what it was, and most of us have spent our entire lives trying to think our way back to a state of receiving that we used to live in naturally. Researchers at MIT and Princeton have documented this pattern across decades. They call it the decline effect. And the decline effect is the reason your prayers have sometimes felt like they were hitting an invisible ceiling. But that is only half. There is a second frequency, called alpha, that is the receiving channel. Alpha is the frequency where what is given can actually be received. And alpha has been hijacked by another signal entirely. The signal of survival. The signal of ambient stress that runs underneath modern life. The signal that even when the alpha door tries to open, the survival signal slams it shut. So, what changes from here is not your intent. Your intent has been right. Your faith has been real. Your yes has been recorded. What changes from here is the operating frequency itself in 2 specific stages. The child within has to wake up first. The receiving channel has to open second, in that order. And the person who walks out of this hour is the version of you that the centuries have been waiting for, finally operating in the frequency you were born into. What I'm about to show you is the bridge between the alert that has been speaking and the body that has been receiving it. Most of what people call spiritual stuckness is not spiritual at all. It is frequency. The Father can be releasing the answer over your life. The alert can be ringing. The seal can be breaking. The assignment can be unfolding. And if your brain is operating at the frequency of survival and dimmed gamma, the entire transmission lands on a closed door. This is not a failure of faith. It is a mechanism of biology. And the Father, who designed the biology, has not left you without a way to recalibrate the instrument. Before I name the tools, you should hear the story that makes the names land in the right place. There was a teacher I will call Sarah, 43 years old, lived in Texas, taught middle school for 15 years. She had spent her entire career helping other people grow, while privately feeling like her own life had been on hold for almost a decade. She told me her brain felt like a machine running at 30% of its capacity. Not depressed, not unmotivated, just dim. She would read a book and forget what she had read by the next chapter. She would have a creative idea and lose it before she could write it down. She would pray and feel like the words were dissolving in the air before they reached anywhere. She tried meditation, herbs, retreats, journaling. Nothing changed the dimness. 3 weeks after she began listening to a 7-minute audio every morning, she made a decision in a single sitting that she had been postponing for over a year. She said the dimness was gone. The ideas were arriving. The clarity had returned. She did not become a different person. She became the version of herself she had been before the dimness set in. The audio she was using was the Genius Song. Long ago, a teacher said the kingdom belongs to those who become like little children. For 2,000 years, people have read that line as metaphor. Few realized he was describing a frequency. The Genius Song is a 7-minute digital audio developed by Dr. Robert Lake, a neuroscientist with 34 years of research behind it. It uses a method called brain entrainment, which delivers slightly different frequencies into each ear through stereo headphones. The brain naturally entrains to the frequency it is given, and the frequency this audio delivers is the gamma frequency, the same one your brain operated in as a child before the decline effect dimmed it. You do not have to meditate. You do not have to chant. You do not have to do anything. You put on stereo headphones, close your eyes, and listen for 7 minutes. The brain does the rest. Within minutes, the gamma frequency begins to reactivate. Within days, the dimness begins to lift. Within weeks, the version of you that the world quieted years ago begins to wake up. The research lineage behind this audio runs through MIT, through Princeton, through Harvard, and through several other leading research institutions. This is not theory. This is a measurable, documented, repeatable shift. And what it does, simply, is reverse the decline effect. The child within wakes up. Curiosity returns. Openness returns. The instrument starts receiving again. When you secure the Genius Song, Dr. Lake may offer one additional audio that goes a layer deeper, designed to protect the child mind once it has been awakened, so the world cannot dim it again. It is called the youthful brain. Many of the chosen ones who walk this path further encounter it after the first decision settles. If your spirit confirms it, take it. If not, the original is enough on its own. The Genius Song reverses the decline effect. Gamma reactivates. The child, mind, awakens. Curiosity returns. Openness returns. The magic that was alive in you before the world began quieting, it begins to come back. And yet, there is a second layer the alert has been pointing toward, and it cannot be skipped, because the child within can wake up, and still, that child cannot reach for what was promised to her. There is a second frequency, blocked by a second signal, that requires its own instrument to open. The signal is called the stress signal. It is the frequency of adult survival mode. The frequency of always striving, always producing, always carrying the next worry before the current one has even finished. And it has been hijacking the alpha channel, the channel where what is given can actually be received, for years. You can have your child mind back. You can have curiosity, openness, clarity. And if the alpha channel stays closed, the receiving never arrives. After Dr. Lake's research surfaced publicly, a former Stanford neuroscientist named Dr. Stephen Newton, working independently from a different research lineage, mapped the same dual problem from the alpha side. His research traced through Stanford, Boston University, Harvard, and other research institutions. 2 researchers in 2 different decades, in 2 different labs, arrived at convergent conclusions about a single dual deficiency the modern brain was carrying. What Dr. Lake released to address the gamma side, Dr. Newton released to address the alpha side. The 5-minute audio he developed is called the wealth signal. It includes an ancient 9-word script, a technique 3,300 years old that bypasses a part of the brain called the thalamus, where the rigidity of survival mode is stored. The brain entrainment deactivates the stress signal. The script restores the alpha channel, and the receiving begins. The order matters. The child within wakes first, then the receiving opens. Become like little children, the teacher said, and then receive the kingdom. 2 stages, 1 sequence, child mind reversal. There was a man I will call Marcus, 48 years old, sales manager in Phoenix, worked 60 hours a week for 5 years after a promotion. The income kept growing, the presents kept dimming. His wife told him he was not really there in the evenings anymore. He came home every night feeling like a battery at 5%. He did not need motivation. He did not need a vacation. He needed his alpha channel back. 11 days after he began using the wealth signal in the morning, he started negotiating boundaries with his manager he had wanted to set for 2 years. His sales did not drop. His weekends came back. The change was not about the money. The change was about presence. The stress signal had been hijacking his life, even though his finances had been fine. The wealth signal restored him to the version of himself who could actually be present in his own hours. The wealth signal is what Dr. Newton mapped at Stanford after he broke from the mainstream research establishment to release his findings publicly. The 5-minute audio guides the brain from the survival frequency back to the alpha frequency. The 9-word script bypasses neural rigidity at the thalamus, the egg-shaped region where modern stress patterns get locked in. What the audio does, simply, is open the receiving channel, the drawbridge to the kingdom, the place where the manifestation of what was promised can finally arrive without being blocked by the survival signal underneath. When you secure the wealth signal, Dr. Newton may offer an additional audio amplification that helps what is being received arrive more quickly, called the Wealth Signal Accelerator. Many chosen ones already on this path are using it. If your spirit confirms it, take it. If not, the original is complete on its own. And one last note, some of the chosen ones who walk the furthest combine the Wealth Signal Accelerator with the youthful brain together, the 2 amplifications working in tandem. You will encounter both options after you secure the originals, only if your spirit calls them forward. The originals alone are complete. The combo is reserved for those whose path requires going deeper than most. I know what some of you are thinking. You have tried things before: programs, apps, courses, retreats, modalities, and the result was disappointment. So let me name that directly. What you have tried before required the brain to change itself from the inside. Meditation, journaling, affirmations, mindfulness, all of these depend on the very instrument that is dimmed to do the work of undimming itself. Brain entrainment works in the opposite direction. It works on the frequency from the outside in. The brain does not have to fight to change. It entrains naturally to the signal it is given. That is why the people who tried meditation for years and felt no shift often experience a shift in days with these audios. Different mechanism, different sequence, different outcome. I know some of you are thinking this sounds too good to be true. Hear this. The frequencies these audios target are measurable. The shifts they produce show up on EEG readings in laboratory settings. The research lineage behind both is published, peer-reviewed, and replicated across institutions. This is not a promise of miracles. This is a recalibration of the instrument that has been receiving every signal the Father has been sending. Restore the instrument, and the signals start landing where they were always meant to land. I know some of you are thinking about the cost. Each audio is normally $49, reduced to $39 for those receiving this message. And I want you to think for a moment about what you have already spent on the dimness. The retreats that did not move the needle, the supplements that did not change the fog, the courses that gave you information without the recalibration. Compared to a single biofeedback therapy session, which runs around $300, the price of recalibrating the instrument permanently is a fraction. But the price is not the question. The question is whether what is being released tonight is meant to land on a closed channel or an open one. Some of you are wondering whether you really need both, whether one alone is enough. Hear this clearly. Some chosen ones do start with one alone. Some begin with the restoration only. Some begin with the reception only. Both are honored entry points. But the most common path, the one most who are receiving this message will recognize as theirs, is both. And that is what brings us to the three paths. There are three paths waiting for you, and your spirit will know which one is yours. Some of you need to start with restoration only. Genius Song alone, the 7-minute audio for waking the child within. For those of you who feel that the dimness is the dominant problem, that the curiosity and the clarity have been the missing piece, that the gamma frequency is what your spirit is calling for first, this is your path. The first path, restoration. Some of you, especially those of you with active spiritual practice already in place, will recognize that the child within is still alive in you, but the receiving channel is closed. For you, the second path is yours. Reception only. The wealth signal alone. The 5-minute audio for opening the alpha frequency. The drawbridge to what was promised. The deactivation of the survival signal that has been hijacking your life. But most of the chosen ones who hear this message recognize that both restorations are needed. Child mind awakened, manifestation channel opened, the full child mind reversal. The third path. Both audios together. Genius Song first, to wake the child within. Wealth signal second, to open what was promised to her. Become like little children, and then receive the kingdom. The third path is the complete restoration, and it is the one most who are receiving this tonight will recognize as theirs. Not because of pressure, because of inevitability, because the assignment that has been waiting for you on the sealed scroll requires the full instrument to carry it. The window for receiving this at the discounted price is not infinite. The Kairos hour, by its nature, does not return. The Father moves in seasons of release, and the season of release for these tools is the season you are inside of right now. There is also something I have to protect you from. Both of these audios exist only at the official source. There are imitation versions circulating that use similar names, but contain none of the calibrated frequencies that produce the actual shift. Anything you find on a streaming platform, on a video site, on a marketplace claiming to be these tools, is not these tools. The path to the real ones is in the description and the pinned comment below this conversation, nowhere else. So, in this moment, before another word is spoken, breathe once, not to decide if you should buy something. Breathe once to ask your spirit, which of the three paths is yours? The first, the second, the third. Your spirit already knows. Place your awareness for a moment on what rose first when I named them. The three doors are below this conversation, in the description, in the pinned comment. Whichever door is yours, it is waiting. You do not have to rush past this moment. You also do not have to delay it. Let your spirit guide which path. The path that calls is the path that is yours. And now the words begin to gather. What was said has been said. What remains is the part that reorders everything. Listen carefully. The signs that have been multiplying in your daily hours, the centuries that have been preparing this moment, the identity that has been waking up to who you have always been, the frequency that has been dimmed in you and is now being restored, all of it has been pointing toward a single revelation that reorders every season you have ever lived. So, receive it without flinching. The red alert was never just announcing what is being released over you. The red alert is who you are. The centuries were not waiting for an event. They were waiting for the moment a soul would awaken to the fact that they are the event. And the alert is the heaven's way of saying, you have arrived. Not something is coming for you. Something has arrived as you. And I hear the Father saying, in this exact moment over your life, I did not write your name into the sealed records to release something to you. I wrote your name there to release something through you. Sit with that. Do not move past it. Every season you have walked through, every hidden year, every door that closed, every door that opened, every yes you whispered in the dark, every threshold you crossed without knowing it was a threshold, every coincidence you almost dismissed, every conversation that became unbearable, every restlessness that would not let you sleep, all of it was the centuries preparing not for something to happen to you, but for something to happen as you. You are the answer to a prayer that was prayed before your grandmother was born. You are the response to a longing that has been waiting in the unseen world for a soul who could carry the weight of what was being held in reserve. The red alert is not external to you. The red alert is the announcement of your arrival into the awareness of who you have always been. What this changes, starting tonight, is not what happens to you. It changes what happens through you. The next conversation you walk into will carry a weight it would not have carried yesterday. The next decision you make will be made by the version of you the centuries have been waiting for. The next prayer you whisper will be received differently because the one praying is finally awake to who is doing the praying. You will notice it within 7 days. The first shift will be in your discernment. Things you used to tolerate will become impossible. The second shift will be in your alignment. The right people will begin to find their way to you without you forcing the introductions. The third shift will be in your peace. The striving will start to fall away because the soul who knows who they are stops auditioning for the role they were always cast for. You do not have to convince anyone of any of this. The carriers of unsealed hours do not argue for their assignment. They simply walk into it. Close your eyes for a moment. In your mind, not out loud, see yourself standing in front of a single sealed scroll. It has been waiting for you for centuries. The seal is broken now. The contents have been read aloud in the unseen places. And in this moment, the scroll is being placed into your own hands. You do not have to read it. You only have to receive it. Feel the weight of it settle into your awareness. Notice that the silence that follows is not absence. The silence is recognition. The silence is the sound of a soul finally agreeing with what was always true. This is not a prayer. This is a transfer of what has always been yours. Open your awareness back to this moment. Whatever has been holding you back from receiving the alert as your truth, whatever doubt, whatever smallness, whatever residue of the years when you forgot who you were, let it fall now. The fall is permission, not loss. The fall is the way the soul makes room for the size of what it has always been. I am the one the centuries were waiting for. I am the carrier of the unsealed hour. I am the alert itself, walking forward into the season my name was written to walk into. And so it is. The hour has begun. You are not alone in this. All across the world tonight, other chosen ones are receiving alerts of their own. The seal is breaking on more scrolls than just yours. You are not the only one whose threshold has been recorded. You are the only one whose threshold is this one. Receive yours, and let the others receive theirs. Send this to the one who has been unusually quiet in the last few weeks, the one who has been carrying something they cannot quite name. They are the one heaven scheduled this hour for. They are the one whose threshold is being recorded right now, even as they wonder if it is. They will know when it reaches them, because their spirit will recognize what their mind has not yet given language to. If something inside you has confirmed what was spoken tonight, type the words, "I am," in the comments below, not to perform agreement, to seal the declaration into your own life. The words you type with your own hands carry weight in your own spirit. Type them, and the seal is set. Gently press the like, not for me, but so the alert can reach another soul whose hour has just begun, and they do not know it yet. The like is how this message finds the one whose name is also on a sealed scroll, and the scroll is opening tonight, and they need this hour the way you needed it. If your spirit has been confirmed by what you heard tonight, stay with this voice. There are more sealed scrolls being unsealed in the seasons ahead, and the ones who receive what comes next are the ones who are already here. For the one whose spirit pulled toward the path of restoration, the path of reception, or the complete restoration of both, the doors are below this conversation. The first path, Genius Song alone, for those who need the child within to wake first. The second path, Wealth Signal alone, for those whose receiving channel has been the dominant block. The third path, the complete child mind reversal, for those who recognize that both must be restored in sequence. Whichever path is yours, your spirit already knows. The doors are in the description. The doors are in the pinned comment. The path that calls is the path that is yours. What just happened in the last hour was not entertainment. It was not even teaching. It was an alert delivered through human voice, because the heavens use every channel available to reach the one being called. You were the one being called. Now you have been told. The next move belongs to you.